Hey guys, welcome to my Katarina guide. Hopefully by the end of this video you'll be able to know how to play Katarina. Also, if you could watch this video in HD it would be much appreciated. This is Kat's level 1 stats. Katarina is normally and should be played as an AP mid as she is not naturally tanky, but she has a lot of poke and damage trade potential. She has low starting health and scaling on her abilities early game, which means you should not try to commit to any fights until level 6. After that her ability combo is seriously something to be scared of. Here's my recommended build for Kat. Boots and pot should always be taken early as Kat kinda relies on movement speed. Also, Katarina's early game is so bad that you should only be trying to farm instead of killing your enemies. Kat works really well with Spellvamp, and I always try to buy a Hextech Revolver, wards and pots on my first back, which means that you have to be decent at farming. If you're killed or have to go back before then, it can really set you behind. Also, Kat has such awful health stats, it's really important to give her a little health. So you'll find that Riley's Crystal Scepter is a really good item to buy on her, even for a passive. After that, you just want to get as much damage as possible for team fights, so you can buy Rabadons and Magic Penetration, and you can also buy Guardian Angel, and remember you should always change your build situationally. This isn't my best gameplay, but oh well. As Kat, you should always focus on the farm early game, and you should always take your Q first unless you're invading or being invaded. Then it's better to take your W for more AoE damage, or your E to escape without using flash. Normally people max Kat's Q early to get more poke off, but I normally max my W and use it with my Q to farm. As Kat's Q applies a mark to all enemy units hit, your W can consume the mark and deal more AoE damage. But her W is not very effective until it's level 2. It's literally like impossible to hit a CS level 1 with your W. When maxing W on Kat, you should try to hit your CS at max range. This is called edging, so you don't take any unnecessary auto attacks from the enemies. Also, Kat's E can be used to grab CS at a longer range. Another benefit of maxing W is the movement speed buff. You get it when using it, which helps to avoid harassment when you go into last hit, like skill shots or just auto attacks. Maxing Q is still viable, but I think it's a waste of time as Kat does so little damage early game. I'd keep Q at level 1 and use it to farm low health minions that are out of my reach. After level 6 your damage should be high enough for you to try and kill an enemy champion. If you push your lane and gank another, it can be really easy to clean up kills with your abilities. When there is more than one enemy, keep an eye on them, so as soon as they die, you know that you can use your Q, W and E again on the next enemy as long as you killed them or got an assist. When damage trading your enemy, you should poke them with your Q, shumpo to them, and then use your W to hit them again and get that move speed buff so you can walk away without taking too much damage, and therefore winning the damage trade. Kat is a really good tower diver too, but you should never use your ulti under a tower if it can be stopped, such as a stun or interrupt like Ahri's E or Tariq's E as well. If you can get the kill, however, make sure there is an allied champion or minion for you to shumpo to. To reduce the amount of damage shots you can take, you can also use your W on the enemy minions to get away faster. The most important thing to do in a team fight as Kat is to get your entire ultimate off. To do this, you just want to join a team fight late, or at least until the enemy team has used all their crowd control or interrupts. That way, she won't have any trouble getting it off. Before totally committing to a team fight with your ult, you should poke the enemy team with your Q. If you have the Q's mark above the enemy's head, your ulti will consume the mark and deal even more damage. A fed Kat can always win a team fight if done properly, and if you get close to dying, you can use your E and W to escape and carry on poking the enemies from outside the team fight with your Q. In a team fight, it will take about 3 or 4 enemies to die before you can use your ulti again, as long as it is max rank of course, which means the amount of damage you can do doubles. Because Kat has such high burst damage, you should always focus the enemies with low health and magic resist, so normally the AD carry. But also if there's a tank with very low health, the best thing you can do is kill him quickly, and then that way you can use more abilities on the rest of the enemy team. So to recap on Katarina, early game you have to farm as much as possible, don't die and don't try to damage trade too much, get your spell vamp and health, and then you should be good to go for mid phase, where you should gank your lanes, try and kill your opponents, and generally get farther into the game than they are. And then late game, During team fights, you should always try to join team fights late, get your entire ultimate off, deal as much possible damage as you can, and then after that you're very likely to win the team fight and then win the game. Anyway, thanks for watching my first ever League of Legends tutorial. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like and say something in the comment section, and I'll see you later.